My usual spot is looking a little bit different today with a Christmas tree in the background. The shopping center has installed quite a few around the place already. So that's pretty good because it gives the place a good vibe. And, I guess when people come shopping, they can start thinking about Christmas presents and about, the holidays, Next month, around mid-December, that's when most people start to leave for holidays here in Australia. And that's how you can expect all the interstates to get quite busy. And it's good news for me because, the downtown scene is going to be a lot quieter, less office workers, which means that I can have a good run here on my electric scooter. So I'm looking forward to that. So I might go on holidays myself. I had to postpone my holiday recently because of the recent floods that we had here in my state of New South Wales, especially out west in the state. So the rivers are quite swollen still. There's a lot of flooded areas, but things are beginning to dissipate quite slowly. So, I guess things are on the improvement, but we just have to be a bit more patient. So now, so I just wanted to say that the good news is that Benjamin Netanyahu has been returned as the Prime Minister of Israel. So that is excellent news because you guys know that Israel, has a very formidable and very, impending and in front Bible prophecies ahead before the rapture of the church. You guys know what they are. Exactly, already done tons and tons of videos on them. And, and on other news, it's good to see how the Republicans have won many, many seats in the recent American elections for both houses. So hopefully you guys will, perhaps see an improvement on things moving forward. So let's hope so. I think that aside from, the geo-political that's warring Israel and its timetable Bible prophecies, then I think the biggest concern for people is the hyperinflation issue that we're having worldwide. Prices for everything are going up. Like the price for gas at the moment in Sydney is you're paying $6. Okay, when I do the conversion from Australian to American dollars, you're paying $6 per gallon, and for diesel you're paying about $7. So that's very expensive, and you do think twice if you need to use your car. So I got a motorbike, a Honda Silverwing. It's a bit of a gas guzzler. Also got my Honda CR-V, so I got two vehicles that I need to use to, power them with the gas. And so, I got to be mindful. And, even, the price to service your vehicle has gone up astronomically. Spare parts have gone up a lot. Even, oils have gone up a lot. Everything, the prices for goods and services across the board on everything has gone up because, it's oil that powers the world economy. And when oil is at an all-time high, okay, then everything is going to go up. And not to mention that the feds have pumped a lot of money into the system. And so this has caused huge inflation worldwide. And, the inflation is going to keep growing. Like, you cannot stop the hyperinflation because it's reached a tipping point worldwide, the tipping point of no return because, the fact that oil, the price of oil is going through the roof and it's causing the price of all goods and services to go up. And the fact that even interest rates are going up and even wages have to go up even more to compensate, for, the decline in our purchasing power. Everything is going up, and so you just cannot stop this inflation. It's we're gonna need a great reset, and we all know where this is going, of course, so this is what Klaus Schwab is working for, but I don't think that this is gonna happen in this dispensation of the church age, because I think that when we do have the Great Reset, I believe that that's going to be a perfect opportunity to introduce the mark of the beast. I think that the feds worldwide are pumping their economies artificially, okay, to maintain, the world economy because, of the hyperinflation issue. So I think this is all being pumped artificially, and it will stay so until we rapture. That's my view on it. You probably have a different opinion than mine. That's fine. Not all of us have all the answers, but that's my view on it. Now, regarding Israel, a lot of you are probably thinking, well, what's going to happen now with the two-state solution? Obviously, Jewish people, because it affects them directly, but, we Christians and Jewish people alike, we don't like this two-state solution, but as much as we don't like it, we know by Bible prophecy that it will happen because I might you realize that, there are two Bible prophecies that say that, hey, Israel is going to be rebuilding the third temple. I just done a video on that, and the trade-off is that Israel is going to give, the West Bank or the traditional Judea and Samaria, biblical heartland of Israel. They're going to swap that for the, for Temple Mount because, for the Jewish people, Temple Mount is very sacred. The Jewish people are not going to rebuild the third temple nowhere else except on Temple Mount. And these two Bible prophecies that I just given you on my last video proves that. So that's going to be the deal. So, the geo-political is being, how can I put it? It's being directed so that, Bible prophecy can be fulfilled, that Israel's Messiah can come out, and that the Antichrist can rule for the 7-year tribulation period, So this is what the end result is, It's so that the Antichrist can come out, the rule, and that, Bible prophecies might be fulfilled along the way. Israel's got a timetable of 5. You know what they are, done tons and tons of videos on them. So, but you yourselves have to study the geo-political and be smart and wake up and realize things, Don't just think that the rapture of the church is imminent at any moment. No, that's not going to happen because the rapture of the church is not a Christian issue. No. The rapture of the church is actually a Judaism issue. It's Israel that is going to trigger the rapture of the church because I might realize time and time again that these 5 Bible prophecies that belong in the church age, you cannot fit them into the tribulation period, not for that matter in the millennial kingdom. That cannot work. Isaiah 17.1 and the Elam Bible prophecies, these two, they are going to be the provocation that is needed to trigger the secret war. So Isaiah and Elam will happen first because that will be the provocation, and that will execute, the secret war. After the secret war, we're going to see the burying of the dead for 7 months, then the rebuilding of the third temple on Temple Mount, then, confirming of the covenant, it's about Daniel 9:27 or Isaiah 20:15, the Antichrist coming out, with the symbolic signature of Israel, and confirming with all you guys around the world, I got the signature here of Israel. Bang, see you later, rapture of the church. That's triggering the prophecy in Paul in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3 that the man of sin shows up. Then see you later, and we know the end result. So, this is not me making this up. I'm just telling you that, we got these 5 prophecies, and they teach the Bible prophecies. These 5, they teach themselves that they belong in this dispensation of the church age. So we are not going to get out of here, despite what Bible scholars might have you believe, that the rapture of the church can happen at any moment. No, it cannot happen at any moment because suppose it happens right now. Israel, how can we have the rapture of the church and be in the trib in the following second when Israel hasn't rebuilt the third temple? We haven't had Isaiah, Elam, Ezekiel. When the Antichrist comes out during the trib, you need to realize that he's going to come out to rule, and everyone has to be ready for him, And so we need to get rid of all these 5 before he comes out to rule, Revelation 6 will begin when the Antichrist comes out to rule, And we know that the true witnesses, Moses and Elijah, will be there, preaching the gospel for the Jewish people, So